All right, so it's been a little bit since I actually sat down and talked to you guys about things that are very personal to me and things that I never ever in my entire life thought I would dig into publicly. It was something I was always super ashamed of, something that I always hid from. But I recently purchased a book. It was called The Binge Code. And it opened my eyes to so many things that I was completely unaware of, even now being years into being aware of my binge eating and self-reflecting on the times that I was totally out of control. So I figured that, fuck it. I'm gonna come on here and talk about my experiences just in the hopes that someone out there can relate, because you really don't realize with binge eating that you have a problem. You kind of just pretend like it's normal. Everybody overeats, everybody snacks, everybody picks at things. And yeah, that it is normal to an extent, but it's crazy because I can remember the first time I binged. I really can remember the first time that it happened. I can remember what I was wearing. And I can remember now that feeling of being completely out of control. I probably consumed 3,000 to 5,000 calories in an hour that night. And after prep, I found myself feeling that sense of being out of control. Let's face it, last year was crazy. I did super extreme dieting. I did super extreme conditions. When I'm in it, I'm in it. I mean, when I'm committed, I'm committed. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that for somebody that is a binge eater. I wouldn't recommend that to somebody that is struggling with an eating disorder of any sort. Because being restricted for 17 weeks and 4 days, to be exact, caused me to spiral. And a lot of people have noticed my photos, my videos, that I looked very fluffy or a lot heavier soon after prep. It's because I spiraled and gained 38 pounds after my show. I was 103 on show day and less than 10% body fat. And I spiraled. My body fat percent went up to the 30s and I was in the 140s. And I knew I was out of control. I totally knew I was, and I kind of didn't care at first until I did, until it was too late. I worked so hard for this banging bod and to be so lean and just to throw it away in a few weeks, which fucking sucked. But it was kind of something I needed to go through to really humble myself, to realize oh wait, you're never cured. That monster in the back of my mind that tells me that food is my friend, because it's not. That food will make me feel better, because it doesn't. That it'll take away my anxiety. It's still always there in the back of my mind. So this book really helped me to acknowledge those thoughts and how to kind of tackle them. So I did prep, super aggressive, super extreme, came off of prep, didn't know what the fuck to do, didn't know how to live, didn't know how to go out, didn't know how to drink socially, didn't know how to do anything. So I spiraled out of control. And then we decided to do 75 hard. So I figured I need to do something. I always have to do something extreme. I always have to be in a program to be able to be on track, which it shouldn't be like that. So I started 75 hard. It was going really well, but in the beginning, I was fixated on the scale, of course, which fuck the scale. And then the other thing is I was trying to eat again like if I was on prep. I was trying to do such an extreme diet for what? So once I read this book and I realized that when you nourish your body properly, the urges kind of fade. The urges are usually there. Eat and overeat and excessively eat because there's something missing from your diet, whether it's protein, whether it's carbs, whether it's fat. And I actually talked to a friend about this today. And it's wild how I've had zero urges in the last 3 weeks since I just increased my fats, increased my carbs, increased my calories, just a hair. And I'm still having really good results with my body fat percent coming down, with my muscle tone coming back, with my agility coming back, my endurance coming back, because that was the hardest thing for me. I was in such phenomenal shape during prep. And then once I started eating like shit, I felt sluggish. I felt like I couldn't run down the block. Like I couldn't do shit. It was just so crazy how I went from one extreme to the next extreme to feeling just lost. And I feel like a lot of people go through the same shit where it's like we know how to lose weight, but we really don't know how to keep it off. We really don't know how to live a healthy, balanced life. And we all struggle with that. But I'm speaking to binge eaters specifically because that's what I can relate to. I've learned that not everyone is a binge eater. Not everyone that's overweight or that eats bad is a binger. That's not true at all. And I actually learned that from watching friends of mine, because you can pick up on those bingers, those people that like are constantly snacking and kind of can't stop. And then the worst thing is that they leave me and then they're alone at home. And that's scary because I know what that's like to be alone in your thoughts and sitting awake and thinking that food is a solution. My solution to my issues and what I'm going through was to nourish my body. And it sounds so cliche and so like stupid, like we get it stuff. We all want to nourish our bodies. But once I started to slowly eliminate processed foods, I eliminated energy drinks. And my coach used to tell me this, like I would be like, why the fuck can't I have an energy drink? And she would tell me it triggers cravings. And she was totally right. Because once I eliminated those little things, now granted, I'm still eating some processed shit. I am still eating some, shredded cheese in a package. Like, I get it. I'm not milking a cow, churning and butter and creating cheese, however the fuck cheese is made. There are some things convenience-wise that I am eating, but I have eliminated my nut butters. You guys know I love my nut butters. So I have eliminated that. I'm doing just strictly natural peanut butter. I've eliminated energy drinks. I was drinking 2 to 3 a day. I just went to strictly black coffee and I don't think about them anymore. I eliminated the little sugar-free candies that we used to eat and snack on at night. Once I did that 3 weeks ago, my urges went away. So the problem is we continue to try to fight our urges when we're dieting, but eventually you give in to them. It's just the inevitable. You're gonna fucking give in to them. What I've been trying to kind of experiment with myself on is how the fuck do I get rid of these urges in general? How do I get rid of the voice in my head that tells me to go in the pantry and snack? How do I get rid of the issue that I can't sit downstairs with my family after dinner because I'm afraid I'm gonna eat or end up in the refrigerator? That's not normal. That's not okay. And so reading this book really helped me to dive into my inner self. What is causing my triggers? What is triggering me? What am I seeing in the house? What do I need to just not purchase at all? Not purchase for the kids? Things like that I slowly started to eliminate so that I can stay downstairs with my family and I don't have to just come upstairs at 7 o'clock like prep because I'm out of calories. That's bullshit. We are in control of ourselves. Another piece of advice that I'm going to give you guys that has helped me a lot is reaching out. Don't be embarrassed of your condition. You are a binger. It's okay. A lot of us are. But when you're in the act, and if you have somebody that's in your home with you, talk to them about it. Let them know, hey, when I'm in this episode, I'm gonna say it out loud so that you can help me. I have goosebumps. Oh my God, I have goosebumps talking about this. Because I remember when I said it out loud, I remember I fought it in my head for like probably an hour. And then finally I said it to Ryan. I was like, yo, I'm out of control. I can't stop and I don't know what to do. And he physically grabbed my hands nicely and took me out of the pantry and said, you're done. That's it. And to hear somebody else saying that to you, it's like an epiphany, because it's like, wait a second. It's okay to say what you're going through. It's okay to say your thoughts out loud. It's not something to be embarrassed of. I thought that he would have judged me. I thought that my kids would have judged me. They didn't. They didn't at all. And the best thing that I did was say it out loud so that I didn't fight these demons alone. And now that they are aware of it, they help me. It's one of those things that you just kind of have to get over and just do. Say it out loud, have a plan. Have a plan with your family. Have a plan with your loved ones. Have a plan with your roommate, anyone. Call someone. Like I tell my patients that don't have family here, don't live with anyone, I'm like, DM me, message me, reach out when you're in those moments of being out of control. And it really does help because those people are rational. They're not going through what you're going through. They can't understand really what you're going through. So they can hold you accountable on another level in that moment, in the act of binging, where those urges come in. Another thing that I had to kind of get a hold of is, so I have my medical marijuana card. I do smoke marijuana. It chills me out. I just enjoy it, and I don't care what anyone thinks about that. I don't drink alcohol very much. I'm on 75 hard, so obviously I don't drink alcohol then. I did not smoke during or take gummies or anything during prep because I was afraid of getting the munchies. But with that being said, learn how to smoke smart. One of my friends said this to me a couple weeks ago, and it was like, oh my God, that's so genius. Smoking smart. So when I come home from work, instead of pouring a glass of wine, I hit my bong or I do whatever I do. I, don't get stoned to the point of being stuck because I don't like that either, but it does sometimes trigger the munchies. So with that, I kind of smoke smart around my meals where I won't eat anything when I get home from work, even if I'm starving, until I smoke, and then I have my meal because then that's my munchie, so to speak. So learning how to maneuver your schedule, because I know a lot of people that do smoke marijuana and always say to me like, well, how do you deal with the munchies? How do you deal with it? And you have to learn how to incorporate this around your schedule so that you are not triggered to sit there and snack. And if that's the case, listen, I would love to sit in my backyard and just smoke all night and just chill with my husband, but I don't, because once I'm out of my calories, I'm out of my calories, and it will trigger me to want to snack. So what I do is I smoke before I eat dinner, or if I'm off that day or it's the weekend, I'll smoke before lunch or whatever to kind of be smart with it. This isn't for everyone, obviously. Don't judge. You know that you have your guilty pleasures that you do, and I don't judge you. But it is something that I kind of figured out the last few weeks with being on 75 hard and being in a calorie deficit, because I am, to help me not spiral and to stay on track with 75 hard. So that is something that I definitely would recommend for anyone that is a connoisseur of THC, I like to call myself. The other thing is making sure that you have a plan. So I bring my food to work every day. I eat breakfast at home. Occasionally we'll go out. I look at the menu before, but having a plan so that you're not triggered to want to pick at appetizers or pick at different things. If you're on a path of getting healthier, stick to that path. But you have to have a plan. Otherwise, it does set you up for failure in those moments of feeling like you're starving. So tracking your food is a really great way to hold yourself accountable. So some of my patients tell me, I'm not gonna track. And I'm like, that's fine, you don't have to track, but you do have to track in the beginning until I tell you you're done. So it's just part of my program. I have no idea what my patients are eating unless they're tracking their food. The same thing goes for you. You really have no idea what you're eating. Most of you don't even know what portion control is. You don't even know what 4 ounces of chicken looks like. I didn't. I know I didn't know that until I started tracking and keeping myself accountable with my macros and my calories. When you track, it is a huge eye-opener. Not necessarily to show you that you're overeating, but to truly show you that you're under-eating in your macronutrients, which are your proteins, your carbs, your fats, which are usually why you keep having triggers of urges, cravings, things like that. So if you are not tracking, I do recommend that you at least do it for a few days. If you're somebody that eats the same thing every day like me, you don't have to track every day. If you switch up your diet a little bit that day, track that day. So just little tips like that that really have helped me over the last year or so. I get a lot of shit on Instagram, and I had to block somebody the other day because she always, first of all, this person's always nagging at me and she's a troll and I had to just let her go. And I really tried to be her friend and to like her, but it just wasn't working out. But she commented on the fact that I was weighing a banana. And clearly this bothered me because I spoke about it in another video as well. But the whole point of why I weighed the banana and was tracking the banana is because I was tracking my food that day. I was trying to see what my calories were at, what my macros were at the end of the day. Not that I owe anyone an explanation, but that's truly why I do track a banana. Is a banana a penny in a bucket to my activity and my calories? I can afford a banana. I can afford 2 bananas a day. But that's not the point. The point is I was tracking my food. So don't let people bully you into feeling bad about tracking. Don't let people bully you into feeling bad that you're on this path or this journey to self-love, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. At the end of the day, when you look in that mirror and you're not happy with the way that you look, you need to do something about it. I mean, why do we want to live day in and day out being insecure, worried about going to a pool party, worried about going to the beach with our spouse? We owe that time to our spouse and our family members. We owe those experiences to them. And why do we hold ourselves back? Because we're insecure about ourselves. So instead of continuing on that same path, do something about it. Reach out to somebody. There's so many resources for binge eaters, bingers and purgers. I mean, I used to purge. I don't purge anymore. At least I haven't in the last 2 years. But there's so many resources for you to reach out to for help. There's so many people out there that are going through the same thing we're going through. And you have to remember that. You're not alone. You're not weird. You're not weak. This is very common, and it's sad that it's not talked about more, in my opinion. So that is all that I wanted to say today. I thank you guys for sitting down with me and listening to me. I know that it's not as exciting as my everyday running around or in the office or my workouts or whatever, but I really hope that if you are struggling alone or if you are going through something that is similar to this, maybe not exactly the same, but you can relate in some way, that this helped you, you are more than welcome to reach out to me on Instagram. You're more than welcome to comment if that's what you're comfortable with, and I will answer and to the best of my ability to try to help you, to also share with you other ways that I was able to get through this. And it's a never-ending journey. It's a never-ending battle. Think about it. Drug addicts eliminate the drug of their preference from their sight, from their life. Food is always there. Food is required to live. So in my opinion, it's a little harder for us because we're easily triggered every day. And once you realize that you're not suffering or struggling alone, it's a total game changer. It really is. And there's a whole community out there of us, and we need to stick together because at the end of the day, what else do we have? So I thank you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this little talk in my room. We're getting intimate. We're getting to know each other better and better every video. So thank you, and I'll see you next time.